So what I got here is a project that has been taking me too long because in Northern California it's been a little hot. So Glow Shift makes these awesome little gauges. This one here is the water temp gauge. This one here is my oil pressure gauge. And I rely on my OBD2 app dash command for my some of my vitals on the engine, and I've kind of gotten tired of that, having to open up the phone, make sure your phone's charged, make sure you got Bluetooth connection to the Bluetooth dongle on the ECU. Finally, I'm like, I want to put at least a temp gauge in so that I can monitor that without having to log into my dongle. So Glow Shift makes this little T connector here, and this is the gauge, I'm sorry, the sensor that's going to go into the T. This comes right off of your coolant manifold. And then this little guy, an adapter, go into your block for oil pressure. So I got to figure out where to screw that in. I've already run the wires from the dash back to the engine, so they're just sitting there ready to go. I got to mount this guy, and this is a 3D printed holder for these gauges made by Chris Camacho over at UniWerks Designs. He makes all kinds of 3D printed really cool stuff for Vanagons. This one actually came, I ordered it in brown thinking it was going to match the dash pretty well, but it was a little lighter, so I painted it with some plastic paint. So we'll put that in there, get it wired up, and hopefully be up and running today. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be hot. It's supposed to be 103 in Sacramento today, and I've got other chores to do. So it's 8 a.m. I'm going to dive into it, hopefully get her done. All right, so I got my sensor into the T. The T is going to go right down here. This is the coolant coming out of the block. So I'm going to put the sensor right here. I got to take this off, slide this tube back, stick that guy in there, tighten it back up. So you can see I had to get down in here, take the coolant hose off of the manifold. This is a reversed manifold, and I put this T in there. Here's the wires that I got to connect my gauges to, and pretty easy. Had to lose a little fluid, but not much, and that is all ready to go. Alright, so I put some wiring loom over that guy. Got my extra wires zip tied up over here for the oil pressure sensor, which is going to be a whole nother project because the oil pressure channels or rails or whatever you call them are hidden on this motor and they're hard to get to. So there's one way back down in here. There's a couple behind the timing cover. I'm not going to get to them today. It's getting too hot. So at least I got those wires plugged in. Now it's just working on the front dash to get the gauges wired up, and that shouldn't be hard. But I'm going to call it because it's about 90 degrees and I don't feel like sweating anymore. All right, so project dash upgrade just about complete. I got everything wired. I got the gauges in the van. Obviously, I did these a couple of weeks ago or last month. That one there. I just ran all the wires from the sensors back up here through the grill, got rid of my speedo cable, got everything wired in. I don't have the oil pressure sending unit in the block yet. That's going to take a little more time, but I got the water pressure in there. So let's fire it up and see if it works. Nice. So these you can change the color on. They're flashing because it's an LED. Pretty cool. So the water pressure should work. I'm going to fire it up, see if we get a signal off of that. Yep. Oh, actually? Something man. Hey, subscribe, y'all. All right. My coolant's a little low, but it's pretty topped off enough to get it running. All right, so the way the coolant sensor works is it comes out of the block to this. So this isn't going to read until the thermostat opens up. And stereo's working. So I'm going to let it cycle for just a minute. I got some air in the lines, but the gauges are working. I've got to go back in and run my tack wire. And then I got to do some heat shrink on some of those connections back there. So didn't do it yet. I want to make sure everything works, but I like it. Looks good. And here's my dash lights too. So the tack and the oil pressure sensor will be next.